Midnight Breakdown. Why Xu Kai suddenly ran out during Tan Songyun's live event. Here is the revelation that shattered the calm facade of a perfectly planned celebrity livestream and sent millions of viewers into a frenzy of shock, panic, and speculation. It was the moment no one expected, the moment that turned an ordinary promotional broadcast into the most replayed livestream clip of the year. Why did Xu Kai run? Why, in the middle of a quiet midnight event meant to celebrate Tan Songyun's newest project, did Xu Kai rise abruptly from his seat, drop his microphone, and disappear off camera with an expression no fan had ever seen before? Why did his entire body stiffen as if struck by something invisible? Why did he leave without a single explanation, leaving the production crew stunned and Tan Songyun visibly shaken? This is the story behind that moment. A moment the studios tried to bury. A moment insiders whispered about behind closed doors. A moment that, when fully revealed, may explain the rumors, the late-night panic, and the truth fans have been piecing together for months. Let us begin with the moment everything began to unravel. Hold on tight, C-Drama family. The world of your favorite celebrities is unfolding before your eyes, and every moment is more breathtaking than the last. So make sure you hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications right now, because trust me, you do not want to miss what's coming next. The livestream that was never supposed to go wrong. It was a simple midnight event, the kind meant to draw fans from all time zones, set inside a small studio designed to replicate a cozy living room. Soft lighting glowed against the shelves, subtle music draped the air, and the set was arranged carefully to feel intimate, warm, and safe. Tan Songyun was the star of the evening, promoting her new drama, responding to fan questions, laughing with the hosts. Xu Kai was not officially part of the promotional lineup, but he made a surprise appearance 40 minutes in, unexpected, unannounced, and instantly electrifying. His presence lifted the energy in the room, and viewers on every platform surged by the tens of thousands. But it was not his appearance that fans would remember. It was his disappearance. The studio's atmosphere was soft and elegant, but beneath that calm surface, something unseen had already begun tightening its grip on the night. The first sign something was wrong. At first, no one noticed. The camera framed both stars perfectly, Tan Songyun laughing gently as she described a difficult scene, Xu Kai sitting beside her with a smile that seemed relaxed, at least on the surface. But attentive fans spotted the truth long before the moment of collapse. Xu Kai was restless. Not the restless of boredom, nor the fidgeting of someone eager to go home, but something far more subtle and unsettling. He tapped his thumb against his knee repeatedly. His breaths grew shallow. His eyes flickered toward Tan Songyun more often than usual, not with romantic softness, but with the alertness of someone monitoring another person's well-being. He kept glancing at her left hand, resting innocently on her lap, then at the bottle of water on the coffee table. He reached for it once, then set it down without drinking. It was not thirst that troubled him. It was worry. And then it happened. The moment that changed everything. The silent signal that only he noticed. Tan Songyun was speaking when her voice faltered for the briefest second. It was a tiny break in tone, barely noticeable to the hosts or even the viewers. Her hand drifted toward her stomach, just once, just lightly, before she forced it away, smiling as though nothing was wrong. But Xu Kai saw it. His eyes sharpened instantly. His posture shifted. His body turned subtly toward her, not enough to alert the hosts, but enough to betray his panic to anyone who knew him well. What the audience saw as a charming, relaxed livestream had just become, for Xu Kai, a quiet emergency. Because he had seen that gesture before. He had seen it during her dizzy spell last week. He had seen it the night she nearly fainted at rehearsal. He had seen it 2 nights ago, when she admitted she had been feeling a strange pressure she couldn't explain. He had seen it so many times lately that a new fear had taken root inside him, the fear that tonight, under the hot lights and long hours, her body might be signaling something more serious. The question was not whether she was hiding discomfort. The question was how long she had been hiding it. The moment his world narrowed to one sound, the livestream continued smoothly, songs, laughter, casual conversation, until the moment Tan Songyun lifted her glass of water with a small, delicate smile. It slipped slightly in her hand. Maybe it was because she was tired. Maybe it was because her fingers trembled. Maybe it was because something inside her shifted. Whatever the reason, the glass tilted, spilling a small line of water across the table. She laughed it off, the host laughed with her, but Sukai did not laugh. Because when she leaned forward to wipe the spill, her face turned pale, not dramatically, not theatrically, but in a way only someone watching with total focus could detect. Her breathing slowed, her lips parted just slightly, as if she needed air. And then her hand returned to her stomach. Slowly. Instinctively. Automatically. She didn't even seem aware she had done it. But Sukai saw it. And that was the moment when everything inside him broke open. The breakdown that couldn't be stopped. He stood. Not abruptly, not violently, but with the silent urgency of someone whose instincts have just overridden every ounce of professionalism he possesses. For a second, everyone froze. Tan Songyun looked up in confusion. The host blinked. The staff behind the cameras exchanged frantic whispers. The livestream audience erupted with comments, flooding the chat with questions. Sukai's microphone slipped from his hand and hit the carpeted floor with a soft thud that still echoed like thunder in the silent studio. He didn't apologize. He didn't smile. He didn't disguise his panic. He leaned toward her, whispered something the microphones failed to catch, and watched her eyes widen in faint surprise. Not fear. Not pain. But recognition of his concern, recognition of what he had sensed, recognition that he had noticed what she was trying desperately to hide. She whispered back, almost guiltily, "It's just a little." But she didn't finish the sentence. Because she didn't have to. Her expression said everything. And that was enough to shatter whatever restraint he had left. Sukai turned away from the couch, pushed past the curtain separating the set from the backstage corridor, and walked swiftly, almost running, toward the exit where his manager had been waiting with a headset and a clipboard. The moment his manager saw him, all color drained from his face. Because Sukai didn't look angry. He looked terrified. "What happened?" the manager asked, but Sukai didn't answer. He simply grabbed his coat, grabbed a small medical bag he kept in his car for emergencies, and said only one sentence, "Get her out of here in 10 minutes. Then he disappeared out the back door. The truth the cameras didn't show fans saw only the shock, only the panic, only the mystery. But what truly triggered the midnight breakdown was far more intimate, far more profound, and far more revealing than a messy emotional moment. Behind the curtain, before he rushed out, Sukai asked Tan Songyun one quiet question. "Is it happening again?" And she had nodded. Not fully. Not dramatically. Just barely. Barely enough for him to see. Barely enough to confirm his fear. Her breath had been uneven. Her stomach had tightened. Her body was signaling something she could no longer hide. And his fight or fear response ignited instantly. He wasn't running away from the livestream. He was running toward the one thing that mattered more than his career, his image, or the millions watching. Her safety. Her well-being. And whatever growing truth they had both been guarding, carefully, quietly, secretly, for weeks. What happened after the feed cut? The livestream team tried to salvage the broadcast, but within 16 minutes, they were forced to cut the feed early, citing technical difficulties. Viewers were left suspended in unanswered questions, unable to shake the memory of the panic in Sukai's eyes. Meanwhile, outside the studio, Sukai had already made his decision. One that would not only confirm the fears of the night, but ignite a storm the industry was nowhere near ready to face. He was going back for her. And this time, he wasn't going to let her hide her symptoms, not from him, not from the world, not from herself. But here is the part no one expected. Because while the cameras continued recording Tan Songyun's bright smile, while the hosts carried on as if nothing unusual had happened, and while fans in the comment section tried to convince themselves that Sukai's disappearance was probably nothing, something else was unfolding behind the venue walls. Something raw. Something real. Something neither their agencies nor their management teams were prepared to explain. A security guard who had worked at the broadcasting hall for over a decade later told a reporter under anonymity that he had never seen a top actor like this before, and that if he did not know better, he would have assumed something terrible had happened. Because when Soo-kai burst out of the stage exit, he was not composed, he was not controlled, he was not acting. He was running. Not casually, not calmly, but with the kind of speed a person only uses when they are terrified of losing something. He kept looking down at his phone, as if waiting for a message that refused to arrive. He pressed the screen again and again, unlocking it, unlocking it once more. And each time the screen lit up, his expression cracked a little more. Fans outside the venue later uploaded shaky clips showing Soo-kai pacing back and forth near the staff parking lot, bending over with his hands on his knees, trying to steady his breath. A man in a cap approached him with what looked like a folder of documents, but Soo-kai waved him away without even looking up. Whatever was happening, it was personal. And then the question began spreading like wildfire online: was Soo-kai reacting to something that happened to Tan Songyun? Something he wasn't supposed to reveal? Something tied to the rumors everyone thought were long buried? Because around that same moment, those watching the livestream replay noticed something chilling.